TVweb.com.
And then I was curious, we touched a little bit about how sort of isolated Walt Jr. is on the series, and therefore, as an actor, you're sort of isolated from a lot of the other cast members. So is it strange being part of such a huge show, and yet, you've never interacted with Jesse or Saul or the Chicken Man or anything? Do you just wait on Sunday nights to see everyone else's performance, or how?
I'm actually good friends with them all. The two brothers, they're actually brothers, the two cousins, the guy that got his head blown off and the guy that got his legs chopped off are actually two good friends of mine now. We hang out and had dinner, but it's not really. Well, Junior may be isolated, but I am not from the other cast members. I see them. We're all good friends. We have tremendous chemistry on and off the set, and even if I don't work with them, I actually did have a scene with the Gus, Los Polos Hermanos. I do have a scene with him. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, Giancarlo's excellent actor. What a great actor he is.
And we're so lucky to have such a great group of people, and working with Giancarlo and seeing him play that. And he is a great guy. It's just interesting because I know in real life he's a family man. He has kids and all this, and when he gets to set, he's this big drug lord, and it's just like, what's going on there? It's awesome.
Well, you mentioned the great actors. I wanted to ask you, because the show has had an infusion of new veteran actors since the first season.
Yeah.
Giancarlo and Bob Odenkirk is great on the show.
Bob is a great guy.
I love Jonathan Banks is fabulous. So I was just wondering how does it feel? Do you think this new influx of actors have brought in sort of a fresh take to the show, or a fresh breath of air? How have they helped sort of integrate the show and allowed it to progress?
I think every character that we have on Breaking Bad is an integral part of our show. Our show wouldn't be without these certain people. Like with Badger, Matt, the guy that plays Badger, getting arrested by DJ Qualls and all that, it wouldn't have been as great if it wasn't Matt and DJ. It wouldn't have been that scene. It's like if we didn't have John Carlos and Brian doing that scene with the first opening of the meth lab or first meeting, it wouldn't be as that scene. It's like, I think every person that Vince and all our casting directors has picked have been amazing and integral parts of our show, and it wouldn't be the same without them.
Yeah, and then of course, you've got these. Bryan Cranston's won 2 Emmys in a row for doing the show, and a lot of your scenes are with him. And clearly, he's an exceptional actor, doing some of the best work of his career on this series. And I was just wondering, as a young actor yourself, how playing off of him in this character, how does that sort of elevate your game and your work on the show?
It really, when you work with Brian and all of our other actors, you just have to bring your A game. They are come to set prepared. They come to set ready to go in camera and everything. And when I get to set, I love to try to compete up with them. I'm a new actor, so I haven't been in this industry as long as they have, and I just love coming to set and trying to compete and to keep up with these great and wonderful actors and actresses.
Well, as you mentioned, this is sort of your first major experience as an actor, and so what have you learned about the craft and working on such an acclaimed show, and where do you hope to go from here? Do you hope to continue acting once Breaking Bad has,
I do. I hope to continue acting. I would love to. I've learned many things on and off the set, and even behind the scenes. I hope. I'm actually trying to get my producing and directing credits right now. I'm working on that. I think to understand any form of this industry, you have to understand all forms of this industry. And I think that as I keep going on, I just hope for more success to me and to everyone. And I think Breaking Bad is definitely going to be a great eye-opener and a great stepping stone for everybody on the show.
You mentioned directing an episode of Breaking Bad. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I would love to. I want to talk to Vince about that. I would love to. I don't think I can handle fully directing an episode between work and all that, but I would love to co-direct.
Sure.
Co-direct an episode and do that. I'm not, as Vince says, Bryan Cranston is in directing. He actually directs our first episode.
Right.
And I would just love to try to do a co-directing and see what goes from there if I really like it.
Awesome. And just a couple last questions.
No problem.
How much of your own life has been reflected back in the show? I mean, we know I heard somewhere you got to actually decorate Walt Jr.'s room yourself, and so I was just wondering, do you sort of continue to add and subtract things while the series goes on, and is it all based on what you think Walt Jr. would like, or are there certain elements of RJ in the room?
There's certain elements of me in the room. I love, in my room, I have a couple of drum paintings that I have a friend of mine that I didn't know she did them, and I'm like, that is awesome, that has to stay in my room. I'm like, I love to talk with our art directors and stuff about what should my character be, and like, I had them actually come out to my room and kind of see my room and stuff and get a feel on that. And I mixed. I definitely have my own idea of Walt Jr. and then I have me, and I try to mix and mold and see what character I could come up with.
Awesome. And then I know the show has a very strict sort of color palette and code on the show, and the different shades of green and purple mean different things. And so I was wondering if you could maybe elaborate a little bit on that, and in your own mind, what do you think those colors represent? Go ahead.
Everyone has their own colors. Like, Aaron was in like bright yellows and bright colors, and Dean was in oranges, and Betsy is always in purples, and Bryan kind of went from khakis to this new black dark suit to a green khaki shirt, and Anna switched. And I think what it does is it reflects the personalities of metamorphoses that the characters are going through, and changing and combining those different colors. Because did you notice how Jesse goes from these bright yellows to a dark as he falls down to this horrible depression that he was in, how he went to darker colors. And then he's slowly rising back up to the lighter colors. And then Bryan went through the stage where it was dark colors, and then when he got out of the surgery, it was a bright pink thing, and then after all this happened, it cut that off and went back to these different colors. So I think our wardrobe tries to fit the colors to the character's personality.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And then finally, or just two last things, I wanted to ask you about the struggles that Walter's gone through on the series, and the way he's tried to do everything to keep his family together.
Yeah.
And so I was just curious what you thought maybe the show's sort of lessons to audiences would be about the importance of family and sort of weathering through the tough times.
Don't do Crystal. No. It's definitely, it shows though, every family is like this. Every family has its hard times and hard moments. And it's really difficult for a lot of people. And you just have to grit and bear through them. And hopefully, maybe not, your family comes out stronger, and oftentimes it falls apart. And you're really going to be you've really seen that with Bryan's character.
Yeah.
You've seen he's losing everything, and the only thing he has left at the end of the day is his meth. And he started out doing this for his family, and his motives and ideas were right, but he's seeing that the choices that you make are destroying his life. And world is all about choices, good or bad, right or wrong, whatever you have. You only have those choices at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, I just wanted to ask you if looking back on like when you first read the script for the pilot, I mean, are you surprised by the level of success the show has achieved on the national platform, considering that it's really, crystal meth, it deals with a taboo subject matter?
It's very harsh, and I really had no idea what was going to be in store for this. It was an amazing script. It was amazing people even before we had all these extra characters involved. We still had an amazing cast, and I really had no idea where this was going to go, and I'm just excited that we've gone this far and keep going. So
great.
But this year has been fun.
Awesome.
And it's going to get a lot more crazier.